kind of waiting for the stream to start here. There we go. I think it started. Well, welcome to Window Cleaner, our live stream show brought to you by Window Cleaning Resource. Today, I thought it would be fun to just talk about kind of a free-for-all and talk about 2016. Hang on a second here, guys. Just going to get our chat open. Okay. 2016 was a good year for Reanna and I. It was our first year in business together, and it's been the best year that I've had so far. We've learned a lot, and I think we're to a point now we're going to add a new full-time employee to our business, which is exciting, and just looking for continuous growth. What's up, everybody? Oh man. Hey, what's up, Martin? Good morning. Good morning. Steve, it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, man. Anyways, guys, we wanted to do today just kind of as a free-for-all, and we thought it would be fun to kind of share some horror stories. I don't know if you guys would be down to do that, but I think it's important to learn from your mistakes, and some people have asked us, like, you know, for some reason, because we have our YouTube channel or whatever, people think, I guess, that we're like superhuman or we don't make mistakes, and it's really not true. So I wanted to tell you guys about a fun story. Well, it was horrible. When I first started, I did a living social deal. It's one of those Groupon deals. It's the worst thing in the world. So I got an estimate through one of those, and I went to the house. I gave her an estimate. And when I did it, she accepted it. She had storm windows, and she had, I've always called them Colombian windows. They're the type of windows that have to, they actually come off from the inside. So you have to take those off to take the storm out. So when I get the job, it's already 50% off. I go back to service the house, and when I'm cleaning the house, I didn't know how to take that window off yet. So I go on the outside of the house to take off the storm, and the customer's right there watching me. And I dropped the entire storm, and I broke it right in front of her, the whole thing. She runs outside. Are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, yes, I'm fine. I pick up all the pieces, and I get in my beat-up Dodge Magnum, which is also embarrassing, and I drive straight to Sutherland's to get the storm window repaired. I pay, I think it was $50 to get the whole storm repaired. I go back to her house and explain what happened to her. And she seems okay about it, obviously disappointed. There wasn't enough time to finish the job, so that disappointed her too. So we reschedule for 2 weeks. I go to pick up the storm. I go back to her house, clean it. I'm already like in the hole now for sure because I took 50% off on the job, $50 for the storm window, like 3 or 4 trips to this woman's house. Obviously, she never called me back. But what I learned from that was, man, that just destroyed my day when that happened. And I learned that mistakes do happen. And as long as you follow through on correcting those mistakes and making sure that your customer's happy, I think in the end it'll be okay. Obviously, she never called me back. And I think that was also I learned that living social deal was no good. I never got any customers out of it. I just lost a lot of money, to be honest. So I learned a lot of things out of that whole experience. I also learned how to fix storm windows, or at least where to get them fixed. So it was pretty bad. I can't see anything. Are you live right now? We are live right now, man. I don't know. Can you guys see us? Seeing some of you guys can't see us. Anyways, that was kind of my horror story there. Reanna's got a fun one.
When I first started out with Luke, he had just gotten a brand new account, and it's an older building. It's just a restaurant, and I know what tint looks like. I feel like I did know what tint looks like. Even then, I knew. It was like maybe my second week cleaning windows with him, and so I think this was the first or second clean of this place. And we go inside, and
yeah, we had just gotten the storefront.
Yeah, so we go inside, and there's these windows and these booths, And I get up there, and it's a restaurant, so in my head, I steel wool 2 full windows. I'm still really nervous, and I don't really know my way around things, and it takes me probably 20 minutes to clean those 2 windows. And when I hop down out of the last booth that I was in, I look up and there are scratches all over the window. And so I ran to Luke, and I'm almost crying, and I was like, I scratched the glass, I can't believe I did that. And Luke's like, no, those are tinted. And it was just really old tint, and it was already kind of cruddy looking anyways, but it was like really thin and kind of like washed out because of the sun.
Yeah.
And I thought when I was steel wooling, I was like, this feels really good when I steel wool this.
It was real nice.
So then the owner comes over and he's like, holy crap, he scratched my windows or my tent. And so Luke was like, you know what, man, I'm going to take it off for you for free. He's like, and then either I'll put it on myself or we'll pay someone else to retint these 2 windows.
Yeah.
So I don't go back because we couldn't do it that day because the restaurant was open. So Luke goes back to do the tint removal because I wasn't confident enough with a razor yet. And I was also like really ashamed of myself. And so Luke removes the tint off the 2 windows, and the guy likes the way it looks so much that he's like, can you just remove the tint off all of the windows?
Yeah.
And so Luke removed all the tint off every window for free for this guy. We still kept the account. The guy and Luke have become like pretty good buddies now.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's a really cool guy, but I still will not like go inside that place. I only clean the outside of it because I'm just like so embarrassed still. Like I'm just like, no, I'll get the outside. I don't care if it's like is -16, I'm like,
only clean
I'm
the
like,
outside,
I got the outside of this one. I don't want to go in there. But I did learn that always check new places, homes. I walked into we had a home the other day, and I just knew for some reason I was like, I bet there's gonna be tint in this house somewhere. So every single window I checked, every single one, and not one of the windows had tint. I get to the last window I'm going to clean, and it's this big picture window in the stairwell, and it had tint. And I was just
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, because I told you, I was like, I'm psychic. I knew there was going to be tint here. And so, like, I check, like, every window, especially for, new accounts, not the ones I already know, but new accounts, I will check every window over along the edge. I'll look for the bubbles that you see in it. Just, one time was enough for me to do that.
But, I mean, the thing I think that we took away from that is that, obviously now Reanna checks for tint all the time, and that we just followed through. We didn't scratch it. We did scratch it, but we went back and we made it right, and I was going to do whatever it took to make it right for the customer. That was, I think, a $20, it's a small little restaurant, and it's like a $20 account. It takes us like 10 minutes to clean this thing, but if I had to bite the bullet for $200 to $400 in tint, I would have done it, because I'm not going to allow that to tarnish our name. It was an honest mistake on Reanna's part. It was a mistake really on my part too, because I knew they were tinted. I just assumed, and that is like, I feel like that is probably something everyone says in these mistake stories, is assumption. I assumed, and I just assumed that Reanna knew that they were tinted, so I didn't say anything. So it was really my fault, because I knew, and I should have said something to her. So... Man,
it was bad. I seriously, had
almost,
a heart attack.
No, you almost cried. I remember.
Cried. Yeah, it was bad. I felt so bad and stupid. I think Tradman had one up there.
Tradman, do you have one up here?
Yeah.
Tradman says, cleaning Tesco's and got giant Christmas tree caught in my trad belt, and whole tree came down and went everywhere. The store manager ran over and crashed into the automatic door, which were closed. He didn't see the doors. That's rough, man. How many feet does your guys' water-fed pole reach? Our water-fed pole goes up to 30 feet is what our water-fed pole does right now. Guys, if anyone had the Tent Whisperer from Random Stuff. Oh, Random Stuff. Jesse, that's our little brother.
Our little brother.
My little brother, our little brother. Guys, if anyone else has any horror stories, please let us know. We're interested to hear from you and kind of what you learned from it too. I don't know. I've really made some mistakes in the beginning. You know, a lot of guys ask where I learned to do construction cleanup. I worked for when I first started the business. I rent this house, and the landlord had 200 rental properties, and he'd always had a window cleaner, and he wasn't happy with the company before, and we got to talking, and I started working for him. So that's where I got tons of my residential experience and tons of construction cleanup experience was with him. And his homes were always just the worst of the worst. They were, I mean, windows were literally falling apart before I even touch anything. I mean, just junk. And I've recorded some of these videos for that property management group, some of the construction cleanups we've done. Not the new construction, but the old ones. And man, I had made so many mistakes working with him, and I learned so much. They had a lead contractor, a lead general contractor, and he taught me so much about construction cleanup specifically for like rehabbed homes with storm windows. He showed me so much because, man, when I first started, it was just so bad. I had working for him, I had broken more storms because I'd run into situations where storm windows were already falling apart. They're painted on the house. I mean, the window itself is painted shut. And I had never done any of this. And I couldn't find really any good information on how to approach these kind of jobs. So I just had to dive in. And I learned a lot through trial and error and a lot from that general contractor. But thank God the owner of that company was awesome. Because again, when I made mistakes, I fessed up to it. I went and talked to him, and as long as I made them right, he kept giving me houses, like 2 or 3 a month. He'd just keep them coming. It's so important to just learn from those mistakes and not try to repeat them again, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Here's one from Julian. Okay, I was cleaning inside windows for an elderly lady. She asked me, did I want to use a clean cloth? I said my cloth was clean, but she was having none of it. 5 minutes later, she came back with a big pair of knickers. They were warm too. Hope they came off the radiator.
That's weird.
That's weird.
I'm really clumsy. I'll do ladder work, but I'm just like clumsy on the ground, so ladder work like really scares me. And there's this one bar that we clean, and Luke, you were doing pressure washing on the outside. And so I had to clean all the windows on the inside, and I normally I would do all of the windows that are like on the exterior, like facing out the exterior, and Luke would do all of the interior glass. And it was my first time having to do the interior glass there. And you know, you have a piece of glass here, and then there's a booth here and a booth here, and so not even thinking about it, just hopped up on one of the booths, but they were like false. Like they have storage underneath them. Yeah. So the top of the cushion would come off. And as soon as I had never talked to the manager before. They were both in there because I'm just like a quiet person. So Luke does most of the talking. So I hop up on the booth, and as soon as I do, it like falls out from underneath me, and I scrape both of my legs from like ankle to knee straight up on this like crappy wood that they had on the base. And so like the rest of the day, like I was so sore, and I was bruised all the way up on both legs. I was like limping around.
I remember that.
I'm really clumsy.
I don't know. Ian Miller says, I was cleaning the outside of a foyer on a snowy day. I inched my way from the ladder to the roof to the foyer window. I lost my footing and ran in place like some cartoon character until I eventually slid off the roof and took it to the gutter out. Huh. Whoa, that's dangerous. Sorry guys, kitties. Nathan Hodges says, in my first week I was cleaning an opener window or fanlight UK with a ladder, and the one leg was in a drain, and it slid and scratched the window the guts. I worked with, told me the customer. I worked.
Bragging the boss, but actually they hadn't confessed to him. Oops, you pesky fellas.
Oh, man. Have any of you guys ever scratched a window? I had scratched some windows in the beginning, especially construction cleanups. When I was doing some of those storms, again, I think just the most important thing: talk to the owner and let him know what's going on. No, never. The window cleaning dude, never, huh? I don't know. We see that a lot, and a lot of guys we talked to Jordy. He's the guy from Window Cleanse. He's become a good friend of ours. And that's kind of what made us want to talk about some of this, because it's really interesting hearing some of people's horror stories. And some people come off like, no, I've never scratched a window. I've never done anything wrong. My company's been perfect since day one. And it's just, I don't think that's reality. I don't know. We've all made plenty of mistakes. Brian C. says, the first job started with a partner. We spent 10 hours cleaning a 55-pane, one-story grocery store storefront. Was heavy, mist, rain for 6 hours, and had no dry rags. Everything by ladder. Ooh. Oh, man. That is rough.
I now do the play solo in 2.5 hours.
That's funny how that works.
How it is.
Man, you guys know one of my biggest mistakes that I ever made with a window cleaning company? Actually, we're going to roll out a whole business series, and I kind of touched base on this in one of our first videos that we recorded for the business series. But one of the biggest mistakes I ever made in our window cleaning company was having a partner, and not my wife. She's been the best thing that's ever happened to this window cleaning company. But when I first started, I started with a partner. I worked at a restaurant, and my good friend worked there with me, and his father was a window cleaner. So anyways, long story short, we started this company together. And man, was that the worst deal ever. It really was, because our first job we landed was like $5 or $10, and it was a monthly account. And we go and split that money. You know, it was just... And so someone always felt like they were working harder than the other. It was really all my capital. I don't know. I'm not going to go into it, but it was a really bad deal. If it's not your wife, I wouldn't go in business with someone else.
Hi, Flo.
Flo, what's up, man? The surgical towels. Flo, you've asked quite a few times about those surgical towels, and...
Very specific questions about them.
I want to help, but the thing is, Flo, I don't know where to find them in Germany, and it's kind of hard because I've seen some of the pictures you've sent me, and it's difficult to find the right towels for you, man. I know you have asked quite a few times. Have you checked? Does Germany? Surely they have like window cleaning suppliers that you could check online for. I would say window cleaning resource, but you said that I know that they won't ship to you in Germany.
Could fight.
Ian Miller says, yep, scratched a bathroom picture window. She was super mad, couldn't be buffed out, so I had to replace it. $800. Man.
The razor was fine the night before, but it had a nick on it, apparently.
Kudos to you, man, for replacing it. There is a... if you guys want to see some cool videos with scratch removal, scratch repair for Windows, Kevin the Window Cleaner just uploaded one, and it was really cool. Kevin, if you're watching, what's up, man? We like your channel. We like the stuff you put out.
We really hope that, because you've been doing a lot of like scratch removal videos, we really hope that you do like a step-by-step on that, because that's not something we offer, but it's something we're really interested in. And I mean, like, from the grinder that you use, is that a grinder he uses?
Yep.
The pads, the everything. I want to know everything about it. So that's a request for me. If you could make a step-by-step video on the scratch removal, that would be like awesome.
Yeah, Kevin, if you guys are watching, check out Kevin the Window Cleaner. We have the same last name. So check him out, though. He's got some cool videos, and he just uploaded one where he was doing a scratch removal, which was really cool. Hey, Firehouse, what's up, man? I subscribed to your channel the other day. You had a cool setup on your van. It says scratched tempered kitchen window on my first job ever. One short pass with the razor scratched it bad. Now I'm convinced it was fabrication debris homeowner.
We started working with that builder, and there was the lady who drove by and saw us. She was the one who was cleaning all of the windows at these new homes.
God bless her. She's like 60.
She's old, but I mean, she's with it.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. But she hangs
amazing.
Outside of like
Yeah,
second-story
so
windows.
She actually, we go over and talk to her, and she's like, "Do you guys have your own ladders?" And we're like, "Yeah, we have our own ladders." She's like, "Well, the last guys I hired didn't have ladders," and
Yeah.
she was just amazed that we were like a real company. And then she was like, "Do you guys want to see how I clean these windows?" And we're like, So she proceeds to throw open the window, sits her butt down, bends underneath it, and we're both like,
Hang
"Stop!
outside the window.
Stop! Stop doing that!" And then we go through and we see the work that she had done, and she had scratched some glass here and scratched some glass there, and she's like, "Oh, it's just bad glass, whatever." And she was really cool though.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
But we definitely saw some fabrication debris on some of her jobs. With those new construction cleanups, we go to them, and to be smart, I mean, it's a good company to work for, but we always take pictures when we first show up, because you would be surprised when we get to these jobs. I always find at least like 2 to 3 windows that are already scratched and scratched really well on those new construction cleanups. So we always document all that. Brian, what's up, man? How you doing? Paul Redman. He is like one of my first subscribers was Paul. What's up, Paul? What is this? North Sedary. I scratched a window using a razor blade trying to clean off overspray from a deck staining. The homeowner happened to be watching and said, "Oh crap, you just scratched my window." Felt so bad.
We have a job like that coming up. It's a log cabin house that they had stained, I don't know how many years ago, but they never took the stain off the windows.
Yeah.
That's our Tuesday job right there. And so that job is going to be some work.
We've got gosh, we talked about this. We've got so many construction cleanup jobs coming, or that we're doing now.
And that one's not necessarily a construction cleanup job, but it's worse, I feel like, than any construction cleanup, because they haven't been done in 30 years.
Yeah, this is like an old log cabin. They've got tons of picture windows. They haven't been cleaned, like Reanna said, in 30 years. And then they just restained all the logs, and they were just, I don't think they cared, and they just stained like right over the windows too. Mm-hmm. So that's going to all have to be cleaned up too. Steve the window cleaner, he says always take pictures and videos on construction cleanup, and that's great advice. I just said that kind of same thing there. Always document all of that. Hey, this is good. Ian Miller says if anyone wants to find a scratch waiver or a tempered glass waiver, there is one on the IWCA, and I believe window cleaning resource. I know like on the forum you can find some. Where else? You can find some. But this is a good thing. And a lot of us are talking about scratches and scratching windows, and I feel like that's a pretty common mistake early on that a lot of guys make, and even veterans make. Get your customers to sign a scratch waiver before you start the job. I don't feel like it's unprofessional or anything like that, or it's going to scare away a customer. And if it scares away the customer, maybe it's a good thing, because you could be eating a lot of money if you don't do it. So it kind of frees you from all of that responsibility there. Hey guys, I do want to ask you guys, what's your plans for 2017? How are you looking to grow your company? I mentioned it just real quickly in the beginning of the video, but this is something that we're really working on for 2017. We keep finding that we've added on a whole lot of extra business over the past 6 months or so, and we're getting to a point where we can't always get to all of our business, and we need more time on the administrative side to start really growing our business. So like I said earlier, we're going to hire someone. We picked out some good reading material. This is Window Cleaners Marketing Blueprint by Chris Lamborghini over at Window Cleaning Resource. We're really looking to do a lot of new marketing with residential. We started our company on storefronts, and we feel really confident on getting storefront business. I think, we don't have maybe the perfect formula, but we're pretty good on getting some storefronts. We've got some big estimates in the works right now. We're always adding jobs. That one's not a problem. But when it comes to getting residential, it's more it can definitely be more expensive to get residential clients. It can be a lot more tedious, just all around more difficult. So I'm hoping, we just got this book on Friday, so we're really going to dive into this, and I'm sure that there's going to be some great information here on how to market specifically for residential. So what are you guys doing for 2017? Steve says we can talk hours on 2017. Just curious if anyone else has anything to say what they're doing. I'm from Detroit. Spring is right around the corner. I can't wait. I started my business late in the season last year. Such a horrible time to start.
I don't necessarily think so. I feel like a lot of guys abandon their jobs in the winter. We've already found that. We've been dabbing up jobs like crazy, and it's because guys don't want to work in the cold. My mom, she lives about an hour from us, and the gas station that she works at, one of the window guys just quit because and this is a larger company.
So it's too cold.
Just too cold to work. So I guess it depends on where you live, but for us, I feel like it's been great.
Guys, if you're wanting to start a window cleaning business, residential is going to be rough starting it right at the end of summer and like fall. I mean, you can still do it. It's going to be okay, but starting storefronts in the fall, I feel like you could start storefronts pretty much any time. And honestly, starting storefronts, in our opinion, like Reanna said, that's a great time. People just abandon their posts all the time.
If you can make it out in the cold, then you're great. You're golden.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, and the windows get way more filthy, I feel like, because of all the salt and the slush and the snow. And so the windows look way
awful.
Crappier on the outside. And so, I don't know. We've had a lot of luck with it.
Hey, and guys, I just thought about this too. On the forum, there's a new guy called Get It Fired, I think. Got It Fired. And I just want to say what's up, man. And someone had mentioned something that you shouldn't even try to start a window cleaning company in Kansas City.
And we appreciate that because
we
got our back, bruh.
But the thing is like there's so much glass out there. And I heard this story from another guy that was in a small town, and he was starting up a window cleaning company. He was concerned. It's like, guys, there's so much glass out there, and there's so much business. You just have to look in the right spots. So
it is not uncommon for us to drive 200 or 300 miles a day.
Yeah.
Because our service area is so large. I would say just go. I mean, I don't hold anything against this guy. I hope the best for him. And he's not even saying he wants to do it full time necessarily right now. He just wants to do it part time, which I think that's a pretty smart thing to do. If you want to make some extra money and do a couple houses or a commercial account or two on your days off, power to him.
And that brings me up to another thing I want to say. Guys, we totally respect part-time window cleaners. And I don't want anyone to think that, because there's...
Maybe we worded something wrong in one of the vlogs we made. That could have been our fault. But go ahead.
No, but I just want to say, guys, that in the business series you see that we have coming out, that's something I talked about. And that's, in my opinion... Starting your window cleaning company can be difficult, especially if you go all in and you don't have a lot of capital. I think starting the way that I started was an awesome way to get started, was cleaning windows part-time and then working a full-time job. That way it was never too stressful in a money sense, I guess, because I always had a full-time job along with my window cleaning. But it really... I think it's an easier way to transition into full-time window cleaning. And so the guys out there, and this is to everyone, the guys that are working a full-time job in the day and you guys are cleaning windows on the side, kudos to you, because I know what it's like. I used to do the bartending thing from 3 in the afternoon to 1 a.m., and then I would get up around 7 or 8 and start handing out business cards and cleaning the few accounts I had, and I would do that until 2 o'clock. And I always had to time my last job near my house so I could rush home, get a quick shower. I would just leave all the equipment in the car, and I would just go straight to work. But I think that some guys misunderstood the point of what I was trying to say in that business video. The point is that we are trying to give accurate and honest information, and sometimes I think it's hard to get good information on the intrawebs sometimes.
When I started working with Luke, so his company was obviously enough to support himself and, you know, a little more. And so when I left my job and started working with him full time, that hurt us financially, because we were used to having 2 incomes, and then all of a sudden we just had one. You know, we ate through a little bit of savings to do that. Luckily, we were both we like saving money, so luckily we had that savings there, because we were heading right into winter. It was August, so just a few months later it was winter time, and so houses quit happening. You know, actually the houses kept going until, I mean, we did now, but it did hurt us a little bit. So even when I just jumped in, and he already had a company going, so we totally get it's not always the smartest way to do things.
Well, I don't know. I just want you guys to know that we can really relate with you, because I mean, there's the only stories I can't relate with, honestly, are the guys that. I'm not knocking on this, but guys that come from a lot of money and just had a lot of money to start their window cleaning companies, that's awesome, and I wish it was that way for us. But the struggle's real, and like we've both been there. When I first started cleaning windows, no joke, I was rolling up to the jobs in I think that was like I want to say that was an '06 Dodge Magnum. It had no front end, and all of my customers always were super concerned at the residential jobs. Where are your ladders? Well, they're in the car. I mean, it was embarrassing, it was rough, and it was hard to get started. But we can relate with that. I mean, that's how we started. Living the struggle now. Window wash, my heart goes out to you, man. It really does. I've watched your videos. I know what you're going through, and
we hope the best for you.
We hope the best for you. Window wash. I hope you get a car. I hope you start landing jobs, and I really hope that things turn around for you, man, because we watch your videos, we enjoy watching them, and
stop deleting your channel.
Stop deleting your channel, Window Wash.
You can take a break from YouTube and not delete your channel every time.
Please,
just leave them up there. If people want to see them, they'll watch them. You don't have to upload anything. You don't have to look at it. That's my suggestion, Window Wash. Just leave the channel up there, take the break that you need, and then come back and put out some new stuff, and so you don't have to keep starting over every time.
Yeah, because it's hard to keep up with you when you delete it and then you bring it back and everything. So keep the channel up there. If you need to take a break from it, man, just our opinion, step back. Don't watch it. We like your channel.
I read someone said something about fish in their area was going in with cheap prices and kind of ruining the market. Fish was one of the companies that just stopped going to some of their accounts. We've got the bistro, and then
are going crazy.
A salon from them, and we're charging more than what they were. And I'm not sure that they just stopped going altogether, but they were missing services. And so when we went in, it just happened to be like, hey, your windows look dirty. We noticed they used to be clean all the time. You know what's going on, and they told us, you know, they're not really consistent with the service, and so we were actually able to go in with a higher price and do the same job probably quicker than what they could have done.
Yeah, I know it's quicker. We saw them clean it before, and you're talking about, guys, I'm not talking crap, but moving like snails.
We have 3 businesses in the same area, so it's like a strip mall. And then there's a standalone business. So we do the standalone business and these 2 larger storefronts in this strip mall. And we could finish all 3 of these places. And one of them could be inside and out. that standalone custard shop. We could finish all 3 of those before they could finish one job. And I don't know. I consider myself a bit of a shark when it comes to getting new business. We just got a job at a bar because we were eating lunch at Jimmy John's and we saw these window cleaners. And they were from a bigger company, and the way these people wasted time on their cell phones, taking a break to smoke a cigarette.
Oh, man.
It was ridiculous. And so I told Luke, I was like, I want to go in there. I want to go in there. I want to go in there. I think I had to tell you like 10 times. And finally we went in there and we're like, your window cleaners, how do you like them? Yeah. And they're like, we don't. And it was obvious why. They weren't providing a very good service. They were super unprofessional. And so we took that account. And I suggest doing that. I find a lot of customers aren't very happy with the larger name companies because they've got different guys in there every week. They're not there at a set time. It's just, don't be afraid to go after the jobs that these bigger companies have. No. We're not. I love it.
No, in the beginning, I definitely was. In the beginning, if I saw a company like, if I saw some of the bigger companies in Kansas City working around or working at a strip mall, I was always kind of like scared. Like, man, look at that big company. Look at their flashy trucks. Look at those cool, slick-looking shirts. I can't compete with this. And I think it's just really a confidence factor. Once you start learning that you're just as good or better than these other companies, you can go in and hand cards out and get the jobs too. And
a lot of times you're just at the right place at the right time, and you happen to get the card to the manager who does not like their window cleaners.
Yep. I want to read some of the comments here. What was it? I'm sorry, guys. Someone said something really good here. I'm working on transition 2 right now. I'm cleaning 3 days a week. Good luck to you, man. It's North CA Dairy. We wish you the best of luck, dude. Just keep it up. I cleaned Office Max for business cards. The struggle is real. Yeah, we try and, I mean, us personally, I understand when you have to, when, you know, you're struggling or whatever, bartering is always an option. I've done it before, and I've learned it's never ended well. I don't know. So I try not to barter ever. And especially, that was early on. I mean, no, because someone just asked us if we'd barter the other day, and this was for like several hundreds of dollars for something.
Well, and they were trying to be nice. They were like, well, yeah, you know, we'll do this, and then you can just clean our windows for, you know, free a couple times. And we're like, we would rather pay you money.
We went to a job to get a job the other day, and this guy, well, I guess this wasn't the other day, this was a few months ago, and this guy tells us that we quoted him, and he was like, well, the company we have now cleans it for pizzas, frozen pizzas. So it was some kind of restaurant, I can't remember what it was, but he cleaned the store for...
Sarpinos?
Maybe that's what it was. He cleaned it for pizzas, and we were like, nope, can't work for pizza, man.
We'll
sorry.
Do it for breadsticks.
Maybe if we were breadsticks. Maybe if we were a Ninja Turtle, we could. Wasting time smoking and videoing, LOL. Odds and Sods, what's up, dude? Happy New Year, man. Yeah, that was a crazy story. It was a small storefront, and like Reanna said, we were sitting in there eating lunch and watched these guys, and they would clean. This lady cleaned like 6 windows and then took a smoke break.
No, it was 3.
Oh, 3 windows.
There were 3 windows, and oh man, I took a video of it, but I haven't shared it because that's mean.
Yeah, we can't do that.
Can't do that. But it was bad. It was some of the worst I think I've ever seen. And then she'd clean a window, and then there was like a break where the wall is in another window. She'd stop there, be on her phones for 5 minutes, go back to this window, straight pull it across, take her 20 minutes to clean it, go back in where the break is, and she'd be back on her phone again.
It was a joke.
It was bad.
Hey guys, this is kind of random, but also for everybody in the States, I wanted to tell you about the American Window Cleaner magazine. Sorry, I'm trying to get in frame here. I don't know if you guys have checked this out. You can find where to get these magazines on Window Cleaning Resource Forum. It's pretty awesome. I kind of, like I said, we just got these on Friday, and we haven't really been able to sit down and read either yet. But I've really been looking forward to getting this magazine in our hands, and it covers some really good stuff. So if you guys are looking where to subscribe to this magazine, I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to post some of my favorite articles, I think, on Facebook. And so if you guys are looking for this, it's on Window Cleaning Resource forum. It's really, really interesting stuff.
Hey, odds and sods. I'm not saying that she was like videotaping herself cleaning windows. She was like texting on her phone, and this wasn't their company. They work for a larger company. We get it. You know, you move the camera to get a different angle. And
oh yeah, you're talking to the kings that videotape them while you're working.
Please, man. So we get that, but it was like lunchtime, tons of cars, tons of people. It just, wrong place, wrong time, I think. If, say she was there early in the morning and no one was there and she had some time on her hands, I get it. You can, go a little slow, but that's not the case here. She was definitely texting on her phone, smoking a cigarette. And that's not something we do.
No.
Like, as soon as we get to a job, the cigarette goes out. We don't get on her. I definitely don't. I keep my phone on silent all day and just stay off of it if I can. But I get it, moving the camera around.
Kings of making videos. Man, we have been making so many videos, guys. It's been hectic for us because we've got so much going on. I mean, we just redid our website and everything. And getting to some of the videos because we are trying to make some very detailed videos. We're really excited about the business series we're coming up with. And we're still filming on the How to Clean Windows series.
Body Showdown.
The Wide Body Showdown. Brian, we are working on it as we speak. Steve Cleans, what's up, dude? Really good to see you here. I'm sorry, I just saw Steve over there. Pepsi. But yes, we are working on the Wide Body Showdown. We are looking forward to working with a lot of different new tools this year. We are using some different water-fed pole equipment. We're using the Sorbo Quicksilver, the Unger Ninja, the original Etere Super Channel. We're trying to make videos with all kinds of different tools because we get questions on all this stuff all the time. It just takes so much to really get these videos filmed, edited while we're still working on our company too. So, but we got just tons of stuff coming out. I feel like we keep making videos and promising, this is coming out, this is coming out, this is coming out. And like honestly, right now on the computer, I've got 6 videos that are all being edited and getting ready to upload for you guys. So,
well, unfortunately, we had some snow and like just bitterly cold weather last week. Our windshield cracked.
Yeah, it was
on Friday. So like we had all these plans to film, and then we had really bad snow, and they don't
cold.
They don't take away. They don't take care of the roads here around where we live very well. Kansas is way better. And then bitter cold. Then the windshield cracked that same day. So we meant to get more footage so that we could start pumping them out, but we might take another week to finish filming a lot of them.
Another week or two, and you're going to start seeing a lot of these videos come to surface. I wanted to answer a question. Is Uptown Janitorial, what about using a water-fed pole on the outside? Now, this is, you got to remember, this is a delayed stream. So I want to know, Uptown, are you talking about using a water-fed pole for storefronts or for residential on the outside? I believe I addressed that question in one of the comments on our videos. So I'll wait to hear from you because I do want to answer that if you're talking about using water-fed pole on the outside of storefronts. Are a lot of your commercial accounts AR or do you focus on cash on hand? Ian, we'll take whatever. We honestly prefer being mailed checks and invoicing them 30 days out or whatever it is. We actually prefer it that way.
We don't like to keep a lot of cash on us.
No.
I just think it's kind of dangerous depending on where you are in the city. And so, yeah, we try to get most of them.
Yeah, we don't really care either one. Nathan Hodges, can you do a spin-off video on how to grow your beardness? Just don't shave. That's all I got to say on that one. Um, Janitorial, I hope to hear from you, man, because I wanted to answer that question. I like that how to clean window tutorials. They are awesome. Thank you very much, man. Thank you, Window Wash. That's why I see a lot of wagging. Oh man, the whole issue, like, has anyone else noticed, and I won't spend a lot of time on this, we're going to probably be done here in a minute, but has anyone noticed, like, the wagtail accelerator, like, whole conversation with like, the YouTube videos that are popping up, like, is a wagtail better, is the accelerator better? Guys, I am a true believer in the tool does not make the tradesman. Okay, the tradesman makes the tool. It is just a tool. It is there to assist you. So if you prefer a wagtail, kudos to you. It's what's working for you. If you prefer the accelerator, awesome. I mean, if you want to know our opinion, and this is kind of where we're going with some of our tool reviews, this is just our opinion, okay? It's not going to, what works best for us isn't going to work necessarily best for you. So I think when someone says the accelerator is the best tool on the market, it's just not true, because there is no perfect tool. There is no best tool. If you see Poles and Blades, Bob Hatt, use the accelerator, it is the best tool on the market for him. And hands down, the guy is a surgeon with it. If you see Steve-O with a Sorbo, it is the best tool in the universe, as he claims, because he is amazing with it. I think what's amazing is seeing well-rounded window cleaners that can use all of these different tools efficiently and effectively. That's what I think is amazing. So a lot of times when people ask us, like, what is the best tool? There is no best tool. Some tools perform better at certain jobs. But to say that the wagtail is the best or the accelerator is the best, they're both pivoting tools. I have found flaws in both tools. So it's really just up to you. Sorry.
Uptown Janitorial says yes, outside of storefronts only, early morning, then come back when store opens up to do the inside. A lot of our storefronts is just faster and more efficient for us to use hand tools. I would say half of them are smaller accounts. It would take more time to set up the water-fed pole than it would for us to clean the outside of these businesses. And it's not always the cheapest thing to run. When spring and summer start rolling around, you're going to see us whipping that thing out all the time for residential, I believe.
For residential. But
for storefronts, Luke and I have gotten things down to a science to where, I mean, for us, it's just quicker and easier for us to use hand tools.
And it's also like a cost-effective thing, too, because when you're using that water-fed pole, you need to keep in mind that there is an overhead on using that water-fed pole. So for the TDS in our area, our tank, our DI tank, is really good. We're only probably going to get about 30 hours out of the tank. And then it's about $200, just give or take, to get a new tank. So I don't necessarily want to waste that tank on storefronts. As Reanna said, we're efficient enough with hand tools and traditional work to get the job done quickly. And honestly, it might take more time using the water-fed pole, because you got to hook it up, you got to break out the pole and all that, unless your company is specifically set up to, like, grab the pole and go, which we've tried getting it as close as we can, but there's still some setup involved, and we don't have a tank in the truck of water.
And we also don't have the problem of not being able to get into our stores. I think we've said it before, we've acquired some keys to some buildings. So, I mean, every Tuesday I know what we're going to do. We're going to get up at, 5 o'clock in the morning. We can be at this place as soon as we want to, because we have a key.
It's helped a lot.
Yeah, so we have keys to a lot of places, and we work for a lot of places that open up pretty early. So we haven't had any problem. Like, we don't have to clean the outside, go somewhere else, and then come back to clean the inside. I've never run into that needed to happen.
There's some guys that prefer that. I mean, I saw some guy preferred, like, he would go on his route and clean all the outsides and then come back and do the insides, because he's working his way back to, I guess, his home or something like that. It's just not really a preferred thing for us. We would rather do the whole job and move on. And like Reanna said, we don't have that issue because of keys. But I've seen guys that prefer doing it that way.
And then we work for a restaurant. I think they're there at 5 o'clock in the morning. We have keys to another place, so we can get there at 4 o'clock in the morning. We time out our route appropriately.
Hey, John Ryan, what's up, man? We love your YouTube channel. If you guys are watching, check out John Ryan. He said, variety of tools for different jobs is what sets your professional level. There is no one tool for every job, but that's good. Encourages innovation to be the drive for manufacturers. John, and I couldn't agree more, John has said this multiple times in his videos, that he really stresses on the tradesman and being a professional at your trade. Not so much the tools. And there was one other guy up here that asked, and I wanted to ask Reanna this. Evan says, what's your favorite squeegee? What's your favorite squeegee, Reanna, out of all your squeegees?
It's my residential. It's, what is that, the Ledge Easy?
The Ettore Ledge Easy.
The Ettore Ledge Easy. It's just, perfect. I love it.
I shouldn't say perfect.
I love it. The little foam part comes off the handle every once in a while, but I just get a new one. And that's for, I only use it for residential. I actually started using it instead of the liquidator for drive-throughs. I'm pretty happy with it. It's just awesome.
There's a cat scratching our background back here. That's why it looks like we're having an earthquake.
Waldo!
What's my favorite squeegee? I'm going to break it into two things because I can't agree more with Reanna. The Ledge Easy is...
No, you only get one.
Only one? It's the Ettore Ledge Easy. Because, I mean, if you had to have a go-to squeegee, the Ettore Ledge Easy can do storefronts, and it is awesome for residential. I love that squeegee. If I had to pick a second one, it would be the modded Super Channel.
Come here.
Just reading some of your guys's. Does anyone the Blong pole work? Brand use Unger poles, I believe. Sorry guys, we're just reading some of your comments here. The window cleaning dude, what's up, dude? How long is your average work day? It really depends on what we got going on. To be honest, especially once we hit springtime, summertime, I'd say our average workday is right around 10 or 11 hours, honestly. But it's hard to define. What is your workday? Are you counting glass time or time that we are working? Because our days usually start, I mean, if we're talking about just being at work, paperwork, being at home, driving, everything, our days usually start around 4 or 5 a.m. and they will go until about 8 at night. And that's... I'm being really honest with you guys.
And then finally at 8 o'clock, we've, as a couple, we've decided that after 8 o'clock, we just have to be done. So at least we can have, let's be honest here, like an hour and a half before we go to sleep, because we go to bed, I think, earlier and earlier every week. But so we at least have like an hour of no work just to refresh a little bit.
We have to. And there was from home to home. Hang on, there's another guy here that said... Nathan says, you guys rock, great info, really cool live chat, looking forward to your next vids, my new favorite YouTube channel, sorry polls. Hey Nathan, thank you very much, and it's really nice of you to say that. And to be honest, we love you guys. That's why we do this. Some people think that Reanna and I are making millions of dollars with this YouTube channel, or that we're making millions of dollars, say whatever it is that we're doing. Guys, we're not, I assure you.
Tell them how much we made.
Okay, guys, if everyone wants to know, to be honest with you, we hadn't always monetized our videos because a lot of folks are really curious about that, and like I get questions if we're really making buku bucks on YouTube, especially. We made $100 in about 3.5 months.
That's all we've made off of YouTube.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what. The camera I got, Luke, was more than $100. The software we bought for editing videos was more than $100.
The software for this stream.
The camera for the live stream.
The new computer.
Yeah.
To handle all the video editing.
Yeah, and then if you count the hours of filming, the hours of editing, we are so negative. It is ridiculous. But we like doing it. We like talking to you guys. I've never worked at a job where the community was like this before, ever. I was a bartender even, and it wasn't like this. And so to be a part of the community is something that's really special for me, because it is like a little family, and that's what's important to us. It's not about the $100 check that we've gotten from YouTube.
Making pennies a day, fraction. If you
Not
can cut a
even
penny in
that.
like 100 pieces, and I mean, guys, everything. Like I want to show you too. I don't know if you noticed our last videos, we felt like it looked dark and you guys couldn't see very well. So we went and bought all this fancy lighting equipment so you could see us better.
This microphone.
For
Luke's birthday. You know, it's just not making any money. Oh, no. Yeah, you can show him that. That's pretty cool.
Now, what, guys, we're just spending a lot of money to make high quality videos for the community because you guys deserve it. And we want to make great videos for you guys. We want to make fun videos. We want to make great looking videos. So it costs a lot of money to do that. And I just assure you that we're not making... I don't know why I'm even saying it. It's just because it's silly when people keep telling us, we've had it a lot lately, that, man, you guys are raking in the dough. And I'm like, you have no idea. Don't start a channel. You'll go in debt if you want to make a fancy channel.
John, the Blue Yeti is pretty cool. When we went to Best Buy, we were looking at microphones, and Luke has this thing where he always picks out like the cheapest one. He's like, this is good. And I'm like, no, we're going to go big and we're going to go home.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to go home, yeah. So if you're going to have a piece of equipment, I say go and get the best one you can.
And John, if that's on your wish list, man, I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed with the Blue Yeti. It is fantastic, man. It's really good. Hey, thank you, Steve. And guys, thank you. And I can't tell you how much it means to us when we get some positive feedback and when we hear guys that really appreciate this. That's really cool. There's one guy specifically, Joseph DeMarco. I know I screwed up your last name. He's from ABC Window Cleaning. And he is the nicest guy I think we have ever met in the community. And no, and I shouldn't say that. There are so many nice guys out here and so many supportive people.
When we go on Facebook and we post stuff about videos or pictures of us just, working or whatever, and I've seen him do it with everyone else's too. He's just always so positive and like, great job. You guys are killing it. A bunch of thumbs up. And I love it. That is just the coolest thing ever. It doesn't seem like you got a bad word to say about anybody, and that's the way it should be, I think.
And I think, because guys, we have to end this video here shortly. We're almost at an hour of the stream. But
Jesse, are you still there?
Little brother?
You gonna come over for lunch?
For lunch. What I wanted to say was that some of the things that Reanna and I really look at in other YouTube channels, in connecting with you guys on Facebook and things, is people that aren't bullies. And I'm not going to turn this into some kind of anti-bullying ad, but there is no reason to knock one another, to talk down to each other. The other day I saw a really cool video of a guy cleaning windows, and you can tell he's being really fancy. I can't do what he's doing. He's really good. And he put it up on Facebook, and there was like 100 comments talking about how this guy sucks, this isn't realistic, what a loser. And I am like, why do you guys do this to each other? I posted a picture of Reanna cleaning windows.
Shame.
And
shame on that Facebook group.
So quickly, it did turn into a sexist thing, and how dare you make your wife work in the elements and all of this. And it's just like, I don't understand why some of the community has to be so mean to each other. Because like Reanna said, we think of this community as a family, and we love you guys. And we are always looking to connect with like-minded people. And I hope by trying to lead by example and trying to stay positive and trying to bring each other up instead of knocking you guys down, it will kind of like become contagious, and you guys will do the same thing. So if you see a window cleaning video where someone is not the best window cleaner, don't go to their channel and tell them, man, you suck, you could learn a thing or two. Why don't you tell them, hey, why don't you try watching this other channel? They've got really good tips and techniques. Why don't you try joining this forum? You could learn a lot there. Why don't we talk to each other that way instead of just jumping right on the train of being mean?
Yeah.
I think I interrupted. You wanted to say something there.
I don't remember. But yeah, about the community and like us connecting with you guys, Luke and Steve-O, I've heard them talk on the phone, and it's like two guys who have been friends forever talking. Jordy, we talked to Jordy. The weekends we both have, like, he's married, and we're married, so we kind of do our own thing. But throughout the week, we talk to Jordy every day because he's smart and he's got great advice and he's funny and he's a good guy, and that's what we want to do. We want to connect with you guys, build relationships with you guys.
Yeah, and there's just, I don't know. Sometimes it's just saddening to see all the negativity, and I think it's gotten better, and I hope to see it keep improving. And we just don't see the point. I was talking to Matt Perry, and Matt, what's up, man? Matt is one of, like, in my opinion, the, like, kind of founding fathers of YouTube. He's been on YouTube for a very long time, and Matt has excellent videos, fantastic content, but he keeps it nice and clean, and he's respectful to other window cleaning YouTubers. He's a very, I think, well-respected leader in the community, and I just can't say enough about watching channels like that are nice to people, and he wants to help other guys, and I feel like I feel like it's starting to kind of spread, and I just hope it continues. I hate seeing guys that are just being mean to each other. Connection key, guys. Anyways, guys, open mic, I believe. You guys are such positive motivators here, and it's very encouraging, and it's leading the way for our peers, not just on social media, but on the ground at work. John Ray says, go up and speak at the completion 9 times out of 10. You'll walk away with a smile and contact. Well, guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and get off here today. Please, if you guys are watching this and you've made it this far in the video, comment on the video and tell us what you would like to hear next time. We thought it would just be fun to kind of do a free-for-all, read some of your comments and talk to you guys. But on the next video, we would like to know what you guys would specifically like to talk about, and that's something...
The channel that... I'm sorry not to interrupt you. The channel that we were talking about that restored the damaged windows, that was Kevin the Window Cleaner. He kind of does like a brief little, like, how-to, but hopefully he'll go more in depth with it, because he seems... I mean, maybe he found his niche there, because he seems pretty good at it.
Yeah. No, Kevin
the Window Cleaner.
Yeah. And if any of you guys are watching... Be ready for a phone call. We really liked calling Ashley and Craig over at AE Macintosh window cleaning. So we will. We're going to continue that. We're going to give you guys some calls. One last thing. This is it. I specifically want to thank again Chris and Alex at Window Cleaning Resource and the entire Window Cleaning Resource team. The reason we wanted to work with them is because I feel that they're leaders in the community. They've done a lot to help us make better quality videos in providing things like our backdrop and things like that. So I want to say thank you to Chris and Alex at Window Cleaning Resource. There's a lot of new cool stuff coming up with us and them this next year. We did just roll out our window cleaning kits, which is very cool. There's a basic kit and a residential kit, and I'll leave a link in the description to this video of where you can find those. If you're new to window cleaning, I think it will help you a whole lot.
And then also we have our suggested tools below as well. So
yes.
These are tools we've used, tools that we like, whether it be our water-fed pole or the Ninja, whatever it is that we've used and we like, it'll be in our suggested tools link.
It will be there. So
buy the book.
Yes, check out this book. I am extremely excited to read this book.
Chris is a very successful man, and if he writes a book, I'm gonna buy it. So buy it. We'll talk about it.
It'll be good. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you Wednesday for Window Cleaning Wednesday, and got more new vlogs coming up soon and more kitty cats in our videos. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. And if I can figure out how to turn off the live stream, we're out of here. Later.